VCISO.au Cyberwatch, June 10th, 2025. Strategic Cybersecurity Intelligence Brief, powered by VCISO.au. Stay informed, stay prepared, stay secure. 1. Ransomware targets. Ascot Vale Health Group and Waiwetu Medical Center, NZ. Ransomware attacks over the weekend impacted two healthcare providers, Ascot Vale Health Group in Australia and Waiwetu Medical Center in New Zealand. Healthcare services were disrupted, reinforcing concerns about persistent vulnerabilities and underinvestment in cybersecurity defenses in the health sector. VCISO.au recommendation: ensure 24/7 monitoring, endpoint detection, and incident response protocols are active. Regularly test backups and conduct phishing resilience training for staff. 2. CISA adds Roundcube webmail and Erlang OTP SSH vulnerabilities to KEV catalog. CISA added 2 exploited vulnerabilities to its KEV catalog: CVE 2025-32433, Erlang OTP SSH, and CVE 2024-42009, Roundcube XSS. Both are actively exploited and affect core functions, making them high priority for patching in internet-exposed and enterprise systems. VCISO.au recommendation: immediately audit and patch systems using Erlang OTP or Roundcube. Disable public access to admin interfaces and enforce strong authentication. 3. Ticketmaster data from 2024. Snowflake attacks re-emerges for sale. Arcana Security Extortion Group briefly relisted 569 GB of Ticketmaster data online, initially triggering fears of a new breach. However, the data was traced back to the 2024 Snowflake breach, where a custom tool, Rapeflake, enabled massive data exfiltration. VCISO.au recommendation: review Snowflake security settings and implement IP allow listing, MFA, and audit logging. Revisit incident response playbooks for cloud-based data leaks. 4. 84,000 plus Roundcube webmail instances, vulnerable to critical RCE. Over 84,000 instances of Roundcube are vulnerable to a newly patched RCE flaw, CVE 2025-49113, dating back a decade. The issue arises from improper sanitization of GET inputs, which can lead to PHP object deserialization and session corruption. VCISO.au recommendation: upgrade Roundcube to the latest version immediately. Conduct internal scans for outdated versions and block exploit traffic via WAF or IDS/IPS. 5. China-linked espionage group targets 70+ global entities. A sweeping cyber espionage campaign has impacted 70+ organizations across sectors including finance, manufacturing, telecoms, and government. The activity is attributed to Chinese-affiliated actors, Purple Haze APT-15, with operations spanning July 2024 to March 2025. VCISO.au recommendation: deploy threat intelligence feeds focused on APT activity and TTPs. Implement segmented networks and monitor for lateral movement patterns indicative of espionage. 6. Sentinel-1 targeted in sophisticated recon campaign. Sentinel-1 confirmed it was targeted in a strategic reconnaissance operation led by Purple Haze, Shadowpad. Despite being high-value targets, their infrastructure remained uncompromised due to preemptive defenses and strict access controls. VCISO.au recommendation: cybersecurity vendors and MSSPs must implement zero-trust architecture. Ensure internet-facing systems are hardened and actively monitored for abuse attempts. 7. Interlock ransomware cripples Kettering Health. Kettering Health was forced into an emergency outage on May 20th following a ransomware attack by the Interlock gang. The breach encrypted core systems and shut down operations across 14 hospitals and 120 outpatient centers, causing patient care disruptions and canceled procedures. VCISO.au recommendation: segment OT/IT systems in healthcare and apply EDR across clinical environments. Simulate ransomware recovery scenarios to validate restoration speed and effectiveness. 8. Ransomware exposure list. Last 24 hours, United States, Homestead Gardens, Consumer Services. Community Choice Credit Union, Financial Services. San Jose Country Club, Hospitality and Tourism. Hartwig Mechanical Inc., Construction. MyTaac.com, Technology. Mercer Capital, Financial Services. Triangle Heating and Cooling, Consumer Services. Hudson River Housing, Public Sector, United Kingdom. Bumfords, Not Found, Home Services. France. Ecoterre, Agriculture and Food Production. Spain. NYN, Business Services, Real Estate. United Arab Emirates. Al Tadawi Specialty Hospital, Healthcare. Italy. Dugoni, Business Services, Cleaning. Gerva International Broker, SRL, Manufacturing, Automobile Dealers. India. Ant Farm, Startup Incubator. Kenya. NSSF, Kenya. Public Sector, Social Fund. New Zealand. Waiwetu Medical Center, Healthcare. Australia. Ascot Vale, Health Group, Healthcare. Unknown Country. Electro-Seal, Technology, Oil and Gas Services. Final note from VCISO.au. Australia and New Zealand remain relatively untouched this week, but the global threat landscape continues to shift. Critical infrastructure, software supply chains, and endpoint security are under siege. Ensure your cybersecurity program is both proactive and verifiable. By Anil Yelamati.